Hey guys, SpinoDude here and welcome back to another video. Marvin, bring out the figure we're going to take a look at today. Thank you, Marvin. Alrighty, so today guys, we're going to be taking a look at the new for 2019 PNSO Tracy the Nemicolopterus. I've got to say, out of like all of PNSO's figures that they've released, even the Spinosaurus that we've reviewed from my first masterclass review fairly recently on the channel, this is the one that I've wanted the most, and it's been out of stock everywhere, and it finally came back in stock on Amazon.com, so I ordered it. I just needed to have this thing, and oh my goodness guys, this figure just has so much personality, and the coloration is absolutely fantastic. It's also substantially larger than what I was expecting from many. You can see the size of my hand next to it here. But speaking of the size, why don't we do a quick measurement of this figure before we continue talking about it. So Marvin, why don't you bring out the flexi ruler? Thank you, Marvin. Alright, we've got our trusty flexi ruler here, so let's give this Nemicolopterus a measure. So in terms of length from the tip of the beak to the tip of the wing, we are looking at 4 inches, which is about 10 centimeters. And in terms of the height at the highest point, which is the tip of the beak there, we're looking at about 2 1/4 inches, which is about 5 centimeters. Now actually, before we continue taking a look at the figure, I wanted to bring out the booklet that this came with. Now, I just opened this figure on my own because we've already taken a look at the packaging for the mini figures from the 2019 range. We have reviewed the Concavenator, Carlos the Concavenator, and Xiao Yu, the Tianyu Long. You can go on the channel and look up the reviews for those. They'll be coming out for a comparison later on in the video. But this is the booklet that came with Tracy the Nemicolopterus. And shout out to Gibson Bionicosaurus for teaching me how to properly open the packaging so I didn't have to cut the tops of the art off. So yeah, thank you for that. I feel kind of dumb, but whatever. But it's really cool because on the packaging, he was in the box, so it looked like he was climbing up this little log here. Just like that, which I think is awesome. It fits absolutely perfectly, or I should say a stick. But you open it up, and my goodness, the art on this one is absolutely phenomenal. It matches the figure almost perfectly. There are some changes in the markings on the beak especially, and the tones and the color here and there. And obviously there's much more detail put into the drawing with the shades of color and everything, but this Nemicolopterus is very small. Perhaps this one is a hatchling because it is feasting on a ladybug there, and that is a very big ladybug in comparison to the size of the body here. It has some little facts about Nemicolopterus in the bottom there. It says its diet was insects, etc. And then on the back we have everything in Chinese actually about the artist behind this figurine. So if you read Chinese, then you can pause the video and tell me what that says. But yeah, I just think the art is absolutely phenomenal on this one. I couldn't have asked for a better depiction of Nemicolopterus. It's absolutely fantastic. But let's bring Tracy back out here and let's zoom in and we'll talk a little bit more about this figure. Now, first of all, Nemicolopterus, there's not too much that we know about this. It's only known from one holotype fossil. It's a Chinese pterosaur. The holotype was not fully grown. It was very small. It only had a wingspan of about 10 inches, and it was a subadult. That's what's suggested, is that it was not a hatchling, but it was a subadult from the fossils that we do have. My goodness, just everything about this figure is so lovely. I really have nothing bad to say about it. I mean, there are a few minor paint mishaps, like on the beak and the eye here. There's a little bit of a speckle, but that can be easily fixed with a Sharpie or some black paint or something. I love that they've gone for the blue, brightly colored blue beak. And actually, a few of my friends I was talking to about this figure with said that this figure is Tracy the Nemicolopterus, which is suggesting it is a female individual. But these are very bright colors for a female, so I'm wondering like how bright the colors are on a male depiction of Nemicolopterus from PNSO. That would be pretty crazy. Unless they're both about the same, because that could be the case. With some modern birds, for example, the color schemes stay pretty consistent with each other. But anyway, talking about the colors, Beautiful blue beak, reminds me of a toucan, absolutely adore that. I love the white ring around the eye, brings perfect, like absolutely perfect attention to the eye in my opinion. There is some blending between the blue and the yellow of the yellow is obviously the base color for this figure that it was molded in. There is some blending on the underside of the beak that gives it a slight like limeish green color under there. But if anything, I think that adds something more to the figure, like just the array of colors. It's very tropical, but very naturalistic at the same time. I absolutely adore it. I love these stripes going down the yellow body. There is a slight, I think it's an airbrush of a yellowish, like Spanish orange color going down the back there, and the underbelly is more of a bright canary yellow color. The hands and the feet are done in a black color, and if there's one thing I'm not a fan of for just the way they appear, it is the back feet here. Just the way that the curve is on the ankle. I think that's the ankle there. It's hard to tell because this figure is so small, but they do look a little awkward, but when planted on the ground it's really not too distracting. I love how long the wings are as well. They really didn't skip out on the length of this figure in any way, shape, or form. I also love the position of the head as well. The posture is absolutely fantastic there. But I don't think I have anything more to say other than this is my absolute favorite pterosaur figure now. Just in general, out of all the pterosaur figures I've seen, this one is phenomenal, and it's brought me a new love for this genus Nemicolopterus, which I've only heard of a couple times, and I was just like, oh, that's cool, it's a very small pterosaur, that's nifty. But PNSO has brought it to life here in an absolutely perfect way, in my opinion, and I couldn't have asked for a better pterosaur minifigure. In my honest opinion, I am absolutely in love with this little piece. But also, I thought I'd note that there is some obvious, like, seam lines between the wings and the body there where they had to attach the wings. Not too distracting, but they are present. But for the price, this figure it's absolutely fantastic. But why don't we do a quick comparison? So here is Tracy the Nemicolopterus with Carlos the Concavenator. These are all minis from the 2019 range. And Chow Yu the Tianyu Long. Let's actually tip the camera up a little bit there. So you can see overall, the Nemicolopterus is the biggest one. Let's actually do smallest to biggest. There we go. So this one is definitely most worth your money, in my opinion. This one's still very good. The Tianyu Long, I think, is an absolutely beautiful one, but it does have leaning issues, just like the Concavenator, which is unfortunate. But I also absolutely adore the coloration that PNSO has been putting into their latest minifigures. They all stand out on the shelf for being so small, and I just adore them. But my favorite, without a doubt, is still Tracy. I am in love with this figure. I actually have her sitting on top of my computer monitor now all the time, just perched up there, so that's awesome. Let's take these figures out of here, and that, guys, is going to do it for this review. Let's see if we can get the art behind. There we go. Look at that. I think that's a pretty cool thing right there, you ask me. Yeah. But anyway, guys, if you want to get this figure for yourself, I'll put a link down below to the Amazon listing. I know that there's like a said thing in the community where it's like, don't order your figures from Amazon, but these come directly from PNSO in China themselves. It'll probably take a month or over for it to arrive if you're from the United States, but it is worth it in my opinion. Free shipping, great price of around $7 US for one of these. And also these come in their own little boxes, so you don't have to worry about warping or damage to the paint, etc. If anything, there's just going to be some small factory defects on the paint, but from what I've seen, it's mostly on the black color, so that can easily be fixed with a Sharpie or some black acrylic paint. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed. If you did, leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel. Also, leave a comment telling me what you think of Tracy the Nemicolopterus. So thank you so much, guys, for watching, and as always, I will see you in my next video. So take care, and bye-bye.